Welcome to another Workshop Wednesday with the IMAS. For today's video, we will be making organic line art. Organic lines are unlike straight lines and represent the flow of nature. When it comes to nature, some say no straight lines exist, the same as the idea that no perfect circle exists. This style of artwork comes from the great artist Henri Matisse. Matisse loved being outside in his garden and decided to bring that idea to his own bedroom walls. Originally, these pieces weren't glued down, but would flutter in the wind from an open window. Let's recreate one of our very own Henri Matisse nature-inspired works of art. For this project, we will need cardstock or construction paper, scissors, a pencil, glue or tape, crayons, or markers. For my first step, I've collected some different colored sheets of cardstock that I found at home. If you don't happen to have any colored paper, you can always take a marker or a crayon to color it in before cutting. I'm going to take my white and black sheets of paper and set them aside to use as my background later. In this video, I'll be making two different projects. For my first one, I'm going to warm up by focusing on large organic shapes, each a different color. I'm going to start with my green sheet of paper. I'm going to want some different options of sizes to choose from, so I'm going to make one that's smaller than the rest, one medium, and one large. Here, I'm just letting my hand flow into random directions, letting my pencil wander around until I meet the same spot I started. I want my lines to be continuous, almost like a race car taking laps on a racetrack, which will help me avoid making any sharp corners or stopping points in the lines of my shapes. Next, I'm taking a pair of scissors to cut them out. This can be a great exercise for your wrists and hands, so feel free to take your time. This is a great way to practice your paper cutting skills, as well as hand-eye coordination. The great thing about organic lines and shapes is that none are specific or exact, just random. So if you go off of your lines as you're cutting, or even if you want to change up the shape a little, you can do just that and it won't ruin your project. The goal for our final piece of art will be something more of a surprise rather than an exact image, which can make this project really exciting. Here are the shapes I got with my green paper. To get an idea of the size of my shapes, you can see that the small one is smaller than the palm of my hand, the medium is roughly the same size, and the larger one is much larger than my palm. As I was placing my largest shape down, I felt that it kind of looked like the shape of a bear sitting with his arms and legs out as he looked to the left. That's the fun in organic shapes. They're the same idea as the silhouette, or maybe even a shadow of a natural object. If I turn it here, I can see a fish with two fins, a tail, and a head, and here a man with a large chin and nose looking to the right. Continue making your shapes on your different colored papers, again letting your pencil flow to create something unexpected. One small, one medium, and one large. Keep in mind that the larger your shapes are, and the more curves they have, may take you longer to cut. Continue cutting your pieces. Again, this could take some time, but try to be patient with yourself. If only we could just put them together like this, cover them up, and give them a good little shake, and have it magically done. If you need ideas for organic shapes, you can always look around the room you're in for inspiration. Or you can also go on a walk outside in a garden, just like Matisse. Once you've finished cutting out your shapes, you'll now have several options of shapes to choose from, and even have enough to create multiple matching works of art. For my background, I've chosen to go with a white solid colored paper so that my colored shapes stand out. Before pasting anything down, I have the choice of trying out different shapes together to see if they all fit within the edges of my background. I can also decide if I feel like they work well together. Not all large shapes may fit on the paper without covering the others too much, and by using only small shapes, you might find they may not fill up the space enough. Take your time swapping out the pieces until you find a good composition. A composition is the arrangement of the elements within your work of art. Once you've chosen the final place for your shapes, we're going to start pasting. I'm going to start with the shape that's farthest behind so that I can place them in order from farthest to least. I didn't happen to have a glue stick, so I'm using this adhesive dot roller. I recommend using a glue stick over liquid glue, 1 to keep the paper from wrinkling and 2 from making a sticky mess. Be sure to apply the glue to the side of the paper that has any pencil marks. After I've made sure to get all of the edges and the center, I'm going to put it back in its original position. Once you've put your shape down, you can use your hand to smooth out any wrinkles and make sure that it sticks well. You may find that you have to move other pieces in order to put down some other ones, but just do your best to get them back to their original position. You can also move your objects as a group off to the side to help keep things in order. If you flip your objects over vertically or horizontally, just make sure to flip them back the same way. Continue gluing until you have everything complete. Be sure to make any adjustments as needed before pasting them down. Remember, there is no wrong or right rules to creating your very own art, so do what you feel is best. And here's what my first project turned out like. Now that I've warmed up to the idea of organic shapes and composition, I'm going to make another organic line art piece, this time with many small shapes. Once again, I'm taking 1 of each color paper, and since I don't need that much for this one, I'm measuring and cutting them down to half sheets. For my paper, this measures at 5.5 by 9 inches. At the end, I might still have more shapes than I need, but this will also help me if I need to find a different shape to fill in a certain area. Now that my papers are ready, I'm going to take one at a time as I draw my lines. Remember to let your pencil flow and wander to create a unique organic shape. After I finished this project, I realized I drew more shapes than I needed. So from experience, I'd say stick to maybe 5 to 8 shapes per paper. The shapes on my green paper I felt all looked a little like a mist-shaped capital E. So this inspired me to create some similar organic shapes among each of my different colored papers. For my pink paper, I allowed my organic shapes to look something like coral from the ocean or maybe a leaf. And for my red, I kept with some simple blob shapes. My yellow, I added extra curves or protruding arms and legs, and even added a few simple circles for dots. And for my blue paper, some shapes that look like rainbows. Since this time we have many more shapes drawn than our first project, the cutting may take some time, but try to be patient. Completing a work of art of your own is one of the best feelings. Here, I've separated my colored shapes so that I can create something of a pattern for this project. Here, I'm starting with the shapes that are largest, placing them all down on the paper and making sure that I evenly space them out on my white background. Now, I'm going to take my next largest shapes and adjust what I need to place them where I want them. For my project, I want to make sure that none of my shapes are touching and that they have enough comfortable space between them. Continue doing this with each color. Be sure to adjust the shapes as needed. Once my paper started getting full, I used my smaller shapes to help fill in the smaller areas. Luckily, I had some extra shapes to choose from in case one of the colors I wanted didn't fit too well. This I found to be my favorite part of the project. It's almost like putting together a puzzle, except it's a puzzle of your own creation, so you can make any adjustments as you need to the shapes you've made. Turns out that the yellow dots I made happened to be useful and allowed me to add to the smallest empty areas. Now that all of my shapes are in their final place, it's time to glue. Start with one shape closest to you in one of the corners. This will help you keep from moving any of the other objects on your paper around. Flip your paper over in a way that you can remember to flip it back into its original position. Use your finger to apply light pressure, making sure that the shape stays in the same place. Continue gluing your shapes down, working next with the shape you find easiest to glue next, and work your way up to the other side. Here is what my finished organic line artwork looked like. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you made your very own organic line artwork today, share what you made with us on social media by using the hashtag IMASartist. To learn more and to support us, visit the imasonline.org.